Saturday night's main events this week. It's on Saturday. Obviously, Saturday night's main event, that's a thing. Bringing that stuff back, right? Getting a lot of things going on here. We got a lot of stuff, some things to talk about here. We got predictions coming up here right now, right? This is DA Wrestling. I'm Andrew. Let's get at her. On today's show, obviously, we're going to talk Saturday night's late anyway. We just said in the intro, right? We're going to talk predictions. Who I think is going to win, or what the most people are thinking are probably going to win anyway. We're talking some AEW Down Dynamite from on Wednesday. Some things happened there. We want to talk about some stuff there. Think it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll see what else we're going to do. I don't know. We'll see what comes to mind. Anyway, if you like the content here, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. Make sure you follow us on Podbean, right? Spotify, as well as, of course, YouTube here as you're watching it now. Here we are. So, let's get to Saturday night's main event. It's literally a 5-match card, like the typical pay-per-view PLEs that we've been doing lately, unless it's the big one, right? Like a Mania, a Rumble, Survivor Series, etc. Well, even Survivor Series was only five matches, but then again, you had the 2 War Games matches, or let's say SummerSlam. Okay, so we're going over the card here. It's a pretty interesting card when you think about it too. A lot of titles are online, minus the tag titles and the IC title. And the US title's not on there either. So it's not really a full title thing though, but you got the three big ones on there, which is kind of the most important part, I guess. And we're gonna crown a new US women's title champion, because that's where the finals are gonna take place. And that's where we're gonna start off tonight. Now we don't know who the finalists are going to be, right? Obviously, it's gonna be one-on-one match. There is still the 2 semifinal matches to go. In the semifinal match 1, we have Bayley versus Chelsea Green, which will take place on SmackDown, as well as Tiffany Stratton versus Meechin. Now, I've said before on this show here, I'm not the biggest fan of having Bayley win the U.S. Women's title. It's not that I'm not a fan of Bayley. I just don't think she needs it right now. And I think the U.S. title would be considered more like a workhorse title, like the IC title is for the men. Right? Since we're doing the IC title anyway for women on Raw, I don't see somebody particular like Bayley winning that. So I'm gonna say, and we have Stratton. So I'm gonna say in that match there, I think it's gonna be Chelsea Green. Best course of action, Chelsea Green. If it happens to be Bayley, fine. But either way, I don't think she needs to win it. But I think Chelsea Green would be the better option. Because one, she hasn't held a title in the WWE. Bayley doesn't need any titles at this point. She's not really going to help it grow that much. So, especially if you want to get off the running, it's still give it to somebody else who let them work for it, right? So, in the other match, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Meechin. I'm going to take Meechin. Tiffany Stratton doesn't need it, especially if we're going to put the world title on her anyway down the line, especially the next probably couple months. What's the point of having a U.S. title? And I think with the U.S. title here, it's something you're going to want to have maybe hold it for a little bit, like several months, not just win it, lose it, and then put that person like Tiffany Stratton into that title picture, because she does have the Money in the Bank title. So, I think it's going down to Meechin versus Chelsea Green. And frankly, don't really matter to me which one of these girls win it. I'm really okay with either one. But if I had to choose right now, give it to Chelsea Green. I'm okay if Meechin wins it. And I know I'm going to be a little biased here. We are Canadian here, right? And Chelsea Green is Canadian. She's from Vancouver. So I'm going to be a little biased. But I'm also okay if Meechin wins it too. I'm not going to be upset if Meechin wins. I'll be a little more happier if Chelsea wins, but I'll be perfectly fine if Meechin wins the title. I'm perfectly okay with it. I have no problem with it at all. In fact, I think both women deserve that title in general. So I'm okay. If you want to give it to Chelsea Green or give it to Meechin, either way, I'm a happy guy with it. Liv Morgan, Io Sky. The women's title match. Look, this Liv stuff is going on long enough with as far as Liv and Rhea go. If I choose, I would rather have Liv Morgan's going to win this match. There's no way of some ands about it. We talked about it on Raw, on the Raw review. Take a look right there. Um, but unless you're going to have this feud with Rhea and Liv end at the Rumble, then fine. But if you're not going to do that and just have this drag on till WrestleMania and have Rhea win the Rumble again, win the Rumble again, then don't even bother. Give it to Io. Let Io hold the title there, right? Then you feel free to have Rio, whoever you want, have Rhea versus Io there at the Rumble. But if you're gonna have Rhea versus Liv at the Rumble, and then have Liv finally lose to Rhea, then great. She already beat Raquel Rodriguez. So there's no point of her trying to go through anybody else. So my pick here is Liv Morgan. As much as I'd rather have Io Sky win it, Liv Morgan's be the pick here. And provided they're going to do that match, Liv versus Rhea at the Rumble, then by all means, do that. But please, for the love of God, do not drag it out till the Mania. It's been going long enough. It really has. Like, think about this for a second. Okay? Because Liv has nobody else challenges. The only person who can do is Rhea. Rhea's beat everybody in the division. So do Rhea versus Liv at Rumble then and get over. If not, give the title to Io and let the whole thing start new. Cool. Works for me. All right. Sammy versus Drew. Drew just came back. Sammy probably can take the fall here. Let this build up a little bit more. Let Drew start going through Bloodline members. Make it real short, real sweet. Drew needs to win this match. He's coming off the match against Punk where he lost at Hell in the Cell. Let Drew win. Drew could use the win a little bit more than Sammy does. Sammy doesn't really need it right now. Right? Plus, you're probably going to run this back anyway, somewhere down the line, maybe at the Rumble anyway, or at least somewhere in the Rumble. So you might as well. Drew, I think, is to pick the win. Drew's the one I'm taking. Moving on to Gunther, Priest, and Balor. Now, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I wanted Balor to win. But, you know what I'm taking? You know what? Gunther's probably going to win this match, but I'm going to take Balor. And I'll tell you why. Balor's your first Universal Champion. We all know this. It's well documented at this point here, right? And in fact, dude, Gunther pointed that out on Raw. He hasn't held the title since. Balor needs to win. Balor deserves to have a title shot. This thing with Gunther, I don't think has really worked out the way they wanted to be. It kind of made it. They've almost they made it almost. Gunther isn't as feared as he was before, especially that stuff with Priest. I mean, yeah, he beat Priest, but at the same time, too, he beat Priest with the help of Gunther. Sorry, he beat Priest with the help of Balor. Why do that? It's a good way here to get the title off Gunther, too, and not make it look, it's a good way to take the title off Gunther here. Still have him look strong, because you can have Balor pin Priest. So I say here, Balor versus Priest, they can have, on the first Raw on Netflix, have Balor, face Gunther on his own. Then you can have Priest versus Balor at the Rumble and do what you want after that. Depends on how you want to run it. Right? Hell, you can even have Priest enter the Rumble instead, not challenge him. If you want to have Gunther versus Balor again, right, as a rematch, instead of doing it on Netflix, do the Balor versus Gunther match again. Balor can still win that, right? Put Gunther in a different trajectory for a little bit, right? And you can have Priest win the Rumble. Either or. I'd rather take Balor for this one. I'm sure Gunther's the one that's going to win, but I want to take it as Balor going to win. Because you know what? Be a little different here. A little slightly off center here. Cody versus KO. Now, this was going to be interesting, too. Because we found out, too, via yesterday or the day before, that Cody's going to bring back the Winged Eagle title. Now, which one is the kind of question I'm asking myself? Is it the one that Bret Hart held? You know, Bret Hart held originally, right? Shawn Michaels held originally, right? Hulk Hogan held originally. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. You know where I'm getting this up from, right? Or you can bring out the bigger one, the one that Austin held for a little bit until the Smoking Tail came out. Which one? I personally hope it's gonna be the one that Bret Hart held, the one that Cody. That's the one that Cody really liked the most. So I'm hoping that's the one they're gonna do. I feel that's what they're gonna do too. I feel that's what it is. They're giving Cody what he wants there. Appears only for one night only. So they better not screw this one up. So Cody versus KO. Look, I'm a KO guy as well. It's well documented on this thing. I'm not saying I don't like Cody. I enjoy Cody an awful lot. I think he's done a great job. But I'd love to see KO win. He's not going to though, folks. That's just who I want to win. Logically wise, it's gonna be Cody Rhodes because obviously they're building Cody for something at Mania with either The Rock or Roman or somebody. So we just to see what goes on there. Possibly Randy. God, I hope it's Randy. It really should be Randy. Should be. Yeah, really should be Randy. I would say it's Cody defeating KO, right? Probably with like 3 Crossroads, and holding that title all the way up high for the one night only, right? I also have Saturday night's main event though. We're gonna have Jesse the Body Ventura be back. Hopefully, you can pull that old jacket I used to wear. You know, we have apparently a bunch of new legends, a bunch of legends that will be there. From what I understand, when I was reading, it will be apparently Jimmy Hart will be there. Coco Beware might be there. And a couple other legends who were around, Ted DiBiase from what I understand too. So it looks like it'll be like a big event for all these things. The first Saturday night main event in quite a while. And I know from what I was looking up too, also that they're going to do another one in January of this year. So we're going to get another one very, very soon. Actually, after not too far long after this. So looking forward to see what goes on here. That's Saturday night's main event. That's where we're going with this. A lot of stuff could happen. We could also get a few returns there at Saturday's main event. Who knows? We have a few people we haven't seen in a while, right? Charlotte might be coming back, although I'm pretty sure she's going to be more or less for the Rumble. Same with Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch has already said Becky is coming back out the Netflix. So it won't be Becky Lynch. But Charlotte might. She's doubly ready to go. More than likely is more ready to go from her ACL turn. I think it was an ACL and PCL. One of those things. So we'll see. But we'll see and find out there. Who knows? Saturday's main event is they're shaping it to be a really big card for what it is. Sorry, not a really big card, but a really big event for what it is. So let's see what happens. That's Saturday Night Late main event. Those are predictions. See what happens though, folks. Moving on. AEW last night, Dynamite. The return of Toni Storm. And not the timeless Toni Storm. We're talking about the wild child Toni Storm, the one that that she came in with in the NXT UK days when she first debuted in AEW. That Toni Storm came up, right? So and after a massive ovation too, like she got a massive ovation last night there, and it's obviously Mariah May ended up beating Mina Shirakawa. Now Mina did say it's not over yet, but as the time being right now, it's going to be over, right? Or they might insert her into World's End. Because as of right now, my guess is Toni Storm is going to be facing Mariah May for that women's AEW title at World's End. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mina Shirakawa is inserted in that match. But let's just say right now it's going to be Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Old but new Toni Storm versus Mariah May, the psychopath. Looking forward to it. Look, I gotta say it's probably gonna be Toni Storm that takes the title off her. Right? I did think in the past that Mina was gonna do it. But judging the fact that Toni Storm did come back last night, yeah, it's probably Toni. And they'll have a legitimate run just like this one. But we'll see what happens there. Also, well, speaking of last night's too, MJF is facing Adam Cole at Winter is Coming. Now, I talked last week that is it possible that, Cole will lose to O'Reilly, that O'Reilly will lose, get hurt by MJF, and then be forced to face MJF? No. They didn't do that. It was Cole beat Kyle O'Reilly. Right? Must have his bit of a chagrin. He's facing MJF at World's End. So we're gonna see how this goes here. I'm looking for Cole to beat this match here. Not no offense to MJF, but I'm looking for Cole. They gotta end this. This ending now. It's been going on for like 2 years at this point. Obviously, Cole was injured, so it makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna say Cole wins at versus MJF at World's End. And call it square from there. Start the new year, brand new. Why not? Uh, I'm not gonna say much about this, but you should just go watch it. Osprey versus Claudio. Osprey won in the Continental Classic. He got extra 3 points over Claudio. Claudio's a bit of a sore loser here, but the match was really good. Go take a. It started out as Osprey hitting a Spanish fly right on Claudio as soon as it started. Enough said. Go watch it. You'll enjoy it. Also, there's been a lot of talk lately about Ray Phoenix. Um, Now he's been saying he's posted stuff on Twitter that he took down that he has he was asking for help for medical help and there was just nobody talking or nobody saying anything or doing anything about it. Uh, he's since then taken it down. There are some kind of internal problems with Ray Phoenix and AEW. Obviously, he wants out of his contract. Now a lot of places before have been very critical of WWE doing stuff like this, where they hold on to them for contract and then they eventually release them or have a 90-day or 30-day clause. AEW's starting to kind of do the same thing at AEW because I guess he knows that Ray Phoenix can go to WWE with Penta whenever Ray's ready to go. I mean, obviously, Penta was back in AAA over the weekend, so. But look, if this is true about the whole stuff with AEW and Phoenix and the problems, like just AEW, let him go. Right? Just let him go. Let him go be with his brother. Let him be in AAA or CMLL or whatever they want to do, or go to WWE. There's not much you can do about it because once that contract ends anyway, he's gone and going there. So just save yourself the pain and suffering. I understand you don't want to lose competition to the WWE, and I get that, but WWE doesn't want to do the same thing either. But if people aren't happy in their contracts, there's a reason you have contract clauses why you can get the people out of their contracts. There's always a clause in it. Let them out. Just let them go. Save yourself the pain and suffering, and save him that too, because it's something he doesn't need to go deal with. All right? Simple as that. All right? Also from AEW Dynamite this week too, Brody King ended up losing to Ricochet. And you know what? If they wanted to get Ricochet booed on AEW Dynamite, they succeeded. Because the way it looks with Ricochet now is like he went from WWE where he's getting beaten all the time to almost do the exact same thing in AEW. I'm not too sure what to say about that, but my guess is there's something wrong somewhere. Don't know who it is, but there's something wrong somewhere. But yes, right? Ricochet ended up beating Brody King. A lot of people were not very upset. We're very upset at the fact that he beat Brody King. It was a good match. Like Brody King no sold his chops, and Ricochet was not happy about that apparently. Or had to look on his face like like somebody just took a dump on his floor. Anyway, anyway, let's stop at AEW. We had obviously in AEW Dynamite 2, we did have the Death Riders, Pac and Moxley versus Cassidy and what the heck was his name? Oh, Jay White. That ended in the DQ. Eventually, Jay White ended up, hitting Orange Cassidy with a Blade Runner and just a mess. I don't know what's going on with that right now, but obviously they're trying to pick some stuff up here, but it doesn't seem to be working too much. I mean, I love John Moxley, but I just don't see what's going on here. Like they're not. It seems like they're not doing something right with this whole takeover of AEW stuff. You understand? It doesn't seem like something's going right with this. Who knows though? Anyway, guys, Saturday's main event is this Saturday. SmackDown is tomorrow. Now, obviously, with SmackDown coming up there, I said we talked about the U.S. women's title thing, but we're gonna have those two matches obviously there. We are probably might have something with DIY, right? Because obviously somebody attacked the Street Profits, which was probably DIY, like Johnny Gargano or Ciampa. So we might find out more stuff about that. Obviously, we got some news though too with the Bloodline, more specifically, uh, Bronson Reed. He had surgery today or sometime yesterday in Alabama. He ended up getting his football thing. He points a picture saying, getting ready to F stuff up. He'll be out probably till May, as well as Jimmy Uso. Can I give Jimmy Uso a timeline? He is set to come back sometime in January, probably the Rumble. Okay, fair, right? As far as Tonga Loa goes, look, he's a torn bicep. He's gone for a while, right? Probably about the same kind of time as Bronson Reed is. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, that was DA Wrestling. That was the news. Also, a WWE Dynamite review. And those are the predictions for Saturday Night Main Event. Right? Make sure you like, share, subscribe down below, guys. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. We're all there on DA Wrestling or DA Sports. One or the other. Take a look and find us there. I'm Andrew. This is DA Wrestling. Signing out.